I should be live. Whilst we're rebooting the game and everything. Right. I wonder if it kept my score. What do we want? beamng. Are we live? Should be live. Says I'm live. I am live. Good. Okay. Well, I need a new PC, I reckon. What were we doing? We were looking at the one car. My computer is really lagging out right now. It is not happy. We back? Yeah, we back. My mouse is also getting really sticky. Okay. Is it the same link? Is it just now loading up on the same page, or did you have to hit refresh? Let's bring up the car whilst I wait for a response on that. And maybe you have some memory instability? Maybe. It is new RAM though, fairly new. Talking about your PC, Reuben is building one, and with a face cam. Oh wait, they're doing it now? Why does Reuben want to stream when I stream? Honestly. Why? Why does he do that? He's done that a few times now. I mean, I don't go and stream when he's streaming. This is like the one guaranteed time a week that I stream. The Formula V thing is just kind of like an offhanded thing that I decided to do randomly. But this is the one time I stream, Reuben. Why must you be like this? Enter through the notifications on your phone? Okay then. Let's go share this. I wonder if it's the same link. Let's go check that out. Video. TKG. No, it is a different link. Alright. How am I doing, Swagbucks? A little bit bummed after the computer crash, but we're doing okay. What score were we up to? Hopefully it saved my score. Good. Okay, ongoing cost, terrible. J-beam editing. As I was saying, it's got fairly good J-beam stuff. Tail lights all look fine. I don't know. Gauges are pretty good, but no digital dash, as I said. Sounds decent. They've put NOS in. They've done stability control, handling stuff. There's a lot here, but it's not like top tier, like groundhog level of like finished car. 1440p quality. Maybe increase the quality on your end. It wasn't a computer crash. It was a dude in a trench coat flipping all your breakers. Yeah, probably. But my power didn't turn off. It was just my computer. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, I know. Maybe your BIOS is a bit old. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I should update my BIOS as well. We'll see. Anyway, J-beam editing. Wrong places. There we go. That's the one I want. Put that away. J-beam editing. Does like a 6 feel representative? I think a 6 feels representative. They've done a fair bit of work. A lot more than just one thing that they've done, which is good. Yeah. Would I buy this car? It would never be within my price range. It also looks like it handles like a nightmare, so I would probably be put off. Because I like cars that handle well, which is why my favorite car right now, out of any car I've ever driven, is the Ford Fiesta ST150. One more thing about the EVs. I don't hate them. Hell, I'm a part of the team that designed EV race car, but they are harmful as EU decided to go for full EV switch and average people can do nothing about it. I don't know about that. I feel you're buying into fear-mongering of somebody else. Would I buy this? No. Je ne sais quoi factor. 10. Realism and commonality. 5. It doesn't feel real in really... God damn it. Keep bringing that up. Doesn't really feel real in any sort of way, to be honest, this car. It feels fake in every way. So that's the score. 96. Actually, a pretty decent score. Anything over 80 means you're above average, basically. Anything over 90, you're starting to get quite rare. Anything over 100, I think is like 3 cars. The EU heavily regulated its own population, unlike most of the world, which means that a switch to renewable nuclear and move away from coal and fossil fuels is necessary. Yeah, didn't also, like, the Germans, like, hamper the hell out of, nuclear power? Mostly because they don't really like the French. Problem is that people making decisions are absolutely blind and don't realize that most of us can't afford to buy a car every 5 years like they expect us to. There's a little bit of that. But yeah, 96 score, pretty good. Let's go clear this out now for the next car, which is... this one. Let's take that to, Circuit de South, because it looks like an LMP car. You might take it around Spa, but I feel that Circuit de South is like the place to take this. Also, yes, the EU is restrictive in a lot of different ways, but the EU has done so much for the world that it is just, I love the EU because of it. One of the big things is, like their security stuff that's been butchered elsewhere in the world. Here in Australia, we are like 2 steps behind China. It is pretty horrific with government spying and all that, like really super too much invasive and misuse of power to silence critics sort of shit is happening here. It's happening too much. We arrest journalists that do things that we don't like. Oh, well, the government doesn't like. Really, really shit. The general government, I should specify. Case that it, without having own house and garage, EVs are really troublesome, as current gas stations can have problems fitting cars. Now imagine that would happen with charging. They do it in grocery stores a lot of the times I've seen. We basically created the whole GDPR infrastructure, and anyone can join the Internet Privacy Protection Plan, but choose not to. Yeah. Welcome, One Grumpy Boy. Fellman, the hell is your sleep schedule? Yes, it is 2:23 a.m. I usually sleep at like 4 or 5 a.m. and then wake up just after midday. Let's try this one out now, shall we? Does it have a cockpit cam? No, it doesn't. So we're gonna go roof cam? It's also got ESC. Yeah, nah, bro, this is a race car. Say goodbye to that shit. Get that shit out of here! Kinda wish they had gone with, Oh my god, what? I was hoping they fixed this. Didn't it really understeer last time? Let's go with a nose cam. What is happening? Something is really weird. Ah! There's too much front traction. Ah! Yep, too much front traction. Alright, let's do the simplest fix, which is change tire pressures. What do we got here? Oh, okay, our tire pressures are really low. Let's put that to like 31 and 26. Yeah, so let's put that to like 32.5. That'll do. Okay. My god. This is not easy to drive. It is helping though a little bit. Little too much rear brake bias. Oh, we got wing angles. Okay, let's reduce front wing angle a little bit. That means that they don't have the advanced aero stuff. Brake power, rear, reduce that a smidge. Let's go rear toe in. That should help a lot of all of this immediately. That was my bad. I wish they had have at least done a camera. I feel like the rev range is going way beyond what it wants to go beyond, to be honest. Feels like it tops out like 9,000 RPM. Brakes are not great. It's as if they've done them imbalanced. If anybody wants to make me happy, whenever you're making a car like this, don't use a DCT, instead use the automated manual. Oh my god. I think the sway bars are too soft. God damn it. Not enough rear downforce? Maybe. But it's like wallowy. Let's try doing it the other way around. And increase that front pressure a bit. Alright, let's try that out. Oops. Really doesn't want to pull up. Yeah, the sway bars are way too soft. And now understeer. What is happening? Ah! Did that just triple shift the gearbox? I feel the gear shifts are too close to each other. How many gears does this thing have? It should probably come with like a 6-speed. Yeah, it only comes with the 7. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Come on. Oh man, I'm really late, as always. Welcome, PIJ, how's it going? Phil, if you had an off-road vehicle, what would it be? The Australian Ford SUV that came out in like the mid-2000s? That'd probably be the only one I'd ever consider. It probably has 7 gears? Yeah, it does. Rear sway bars might be good, front is way too soft though. I think both are way too soft. But like 50%. It's a Phil man. Welcome, Brian Greer. How's it going? Stay fresh in here? Are you meant to be like doing a reference to Fresh Prince? Come on! I want this to work, I really do. But your suspension is way too soft on the sway bars. Your suspension balance is way off. I braked way too early then. My bad. Also, I wish you had to put a proper camera in this. The camera is so easy to do as well. How do we deal with tank slappers? A lighter engine? What is the engine in this? It's a V12. Okay. Where is weight wheel distribution? Yeah, so you're 3-to-2 ratio on the rear. That's a bit brutal. How would I, yeah, like just a lighter engine maybe? I see you're already done with my car. I saw your review. Wait, which car was yours? Your car isn't doing good? Whose car? It's my Brazilian off-roading company. What are we talking about? Gordon Murray's F1 car has no rear sway bar at all. There are ways of making a car without a sway bar, yes. The power... Welcome iLulz U. Decreased to less than 500 kilowatts. It does feel a lot better than last week's. I will agree. But there's something wrong. That janky English does sound a lot like Brazilian janky English. Luca? Who's Luca? Any tips to stiffen suspension? I've already maxed out the automation, but it still feels really soft. Oh. Whose car is this? We're getting a lot of people talking about their cars. Where is this car? This is made by iLulz U. Okay. I don't know about your car, bro. If you want to make your car's suspension stiffer, you're really going to have to look into actually editing J-beam stuff. I've stayed away from that as much as possible because it becomes really super jank. Why does YouTube say stream started 14 minutes ago? I just joined. Oh, casual gamer, my computer crashed. It just brownouts, which is so annoying, and it just turns off and restarts. Bro, we had to start the stream over. Yeah. It started 5 hours ago? No, 4 hours. 4.5 hours ago. Freshener is a Brazilian off-road vehicle company that was invented because of Korean-Vietnamese war. Okay. Car weight can't be decreased. It's a fault on the body being 4 meters and the reference being 3 meters less. A lot of these cars are up to 5 meters long and 2 meters wide. So, I'm not too concerned about the weight. I'm concerned about your weight distribution. If you're going to be making a car in automation, you have to keep in thing. And it weighs 1,064, which is within like regulations. What you should have done is gone for a lighter engine and made the front of the car heavier. So say like you're go with double wishbone on the front maybe, or if you want to stay with pushrod suspension, you could go with like a heavy infotainment or something to shift that weight forward with some heavy interior, stuff like that. I'm editing J-beam for random cars. Oh, cool. High-power race cars, especially rear-heavy, have very soft wheels. Very soft in relation to other race cars. You're not quite on point there. If I was to put like a rear sway bar from one of those cars into one of my cars would feel like it had no sway at all in the rear. And we're talking about automation, which is based upon real cars, not race cars. I should say normal cars, road cars. You get proper frequencies with springs and then run stiff front and less rear camber to compensate. Yeah. Sounds jank as well. Yeah, that's just automation, unfortunately. But changing sounds is actually not too difficult. Depends if you want to go simple or complex, that is. It's literally the way of setting up most of modern single-seaters. Okay. Welcome back, Firebird. The interior actually affects weight distribution. I thought it just made the car heaviest. Yeah, it does make the weight heavier all around. But the vehicle as a whole, compared to the engine in the back, so if you take weight from there and then make the whole engine heavier all round, your weight distribution moves forwards. I don't actually know if it changes distribution, personally. That I cannot comment on. But yeah, is there anything else I can do? I could add more camber to the rear. Or take camber out, technically, but you know what I mean. Also remove a little bit of brake pressure from the rear. Offset, height, brake offset. I think we're good there. I've done something wrong and it feels really wobbly now. I think automation is still not perfected sway bars. Oh, sorry, not sway bars, sorry, adjusting things. Yeah, when you try to do things, sometimes it breaks the game. This was already wallowy. It feels as if... You know what, actually, no, it does feel a little bit better. You know what? Let's compare it to my hybrid. Alright. Hopefully this one will show you, like, how you want a vehicle to feel. And we will race it from the top, like your car. And turn ESC off. And this is without changing any toe angle or anything like that. It's just nice and steady, a little bit twitchy. Slow it down into corners. And it just goes around. I think I may have the EV mod on there. That understeered a bit. That was unfortunate. A little bit tank slappy. It's just a really bad camera position as well. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there. You know what, actually, we'll also check to make sure that we don't have the EV motor in. Oh, we do have the EV motor in. Okay, let's take that out. This is back when Aero was also quite jank as well still. Also, you are using an older version of Aero, which is broken. The new version of Aero, though less dynamic in how it works, oh god, this is actually quite difficult to control. At least it's not as tank slappy. See how I can get it around the corner and angle the right direction and then brake? I can't do that because your car is like acting difficult also. Just taking off on this thing is problematic. Okay, for people that don't know about the new aerodynamics, it is much more accurate to what you see in automation. See, I can't get the car lined up, and the brakes are just not as powerful. They're not really well tuned, and I don't want to spend like ages tuning everything about this car. And your tank slaps are terrible. It is better than last week. It handles a lot better, but still flawed. I designed sway bars for race cars RL. Cool. Might need a longer wheelbase to aid stability. No, the wheelbase is fine. It's longer than mine. And mine's stable. Ouch. What is that engine sound? Mess up automation? Yeah, automation's V12s don't sound great. IM3 fiber... Wait, what? Javier. It's when the rear of the car swings from side to side out of control with cornering, I'm assuming that's meant to be. It's called like that because it's like it's used to destroy the... If you've ever like had a tank on the ground and you push it suddenly to one side, all of the things slosh to one side and it'll move the tank further for you. Then the liquid is going to splash the other way, and it's going to move the tank back on its own the other direction. That's what a tank slapper is, and it'll move itself back and forth a little bit. But it's quite obvious to see, like, you get a milk carton and lay it on its side when it's about like half full, or approximately somewhere around there. I'm not sure entirely. And then like slap it really suddenly to one side, and you'll see it go like, hook, hook, or it'll go like, hook, hook, hook. And it'll move back a little bit, if it's like a very slippery sort of one. That's what a tank slapper is. And it does that to cars. I'm not saying that that's what's happening in beamng. That's the origin of the term comes from. Is it supposed to sound like a truck on idling? Yeah. It's because they don't have the camshaft tuned normally for this sort of engine. Phil, can you check out your Reddit so I can see if it loaded? See if what loaded? What? What am I looking for? I think you're going about something the wrong way, maybe? Okay, I had a wrong explanation with the correct concept. Yeah, so the idea is when you're driving in a car, when it starts going one way, and then it comes back to center, but it doesn't want to stay in center, and it just goes the other way, and it will start going like that. And that's called tank slapping. Refresh it? That's fine, you can look it up yourself. Phil, so tank slapping is basically uncontrolled. Also, you've probably... Nah, uploading now, it's fine. Phil, so tank slapping is basically uncontrollable weight transition. Yes. So I was saying like the origin of the term, but yeah, the idea is like uncontrollable weight transition back and forth. I feel like you are right. Having a stiffer sway bar will fix it, but I think it needs stiffer rear sway bars as well to stop body roll. So it needs stiffer front and rear, but it needs a lot stiffer front. I will agree with you on that. I think I was saying it wrong. But I think it just needs stiffer sway bars all around. But yes, it does need to be stiffer on the front than the rear. That will help it a lot. Space Warrior. Yes, you are incredibly late. I think we're on to some of the last cars now. Let's go ahead and remove others. Yeah. A fill score for this. I don't know how to give it a fill score, to be honest. It is doing a lot better than last week, but it still also feels unfinished. Does the new counter-series system... I've not tried it. Or am I actually? Is it on? I may have left it on because of another car. No, I'm not. Okay. Let's see how it works. And let's see what it does to my steering wheel. Okay, it's not affecting it there. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. Yeah, no, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. trying to control this thing so hard. Alright, let's take it down the Morsan Straight. Going a little bit more softer at controlling this thing. The camera position, though, really sucks. Is that really the... Oh, no. It shifted 2 gears. I really need a new sim rig, but I cannot afford the ones that I want. Should be able to brake from about 100, but I'll brake earlier. And it should not oversteer like that, and I deflated a tire. Oh god. Oh god. This thing is a handful. Top speeds feel about right. It should come somewhere around 200 miles per hour. It's got way too many gears. Nah. Damn. Alright. Stiffer sway bars help, but does more rear camber also help? It's just... unrefined? What you need is somebody that, like, really knows how to tune a car to take this one to the next level, I think. Or just practice. It'll also make the car more understeery so it isn't suitable in all cases. Depends how you're tuning the sway bars. In this case, you want an understeery race. You want it to be more understeery than what it is, maybe. And then counteract that with aerodynamics instead. If you can't already suffers from... if your car already suffers from understeer, it's ideal to find a fix for one of the other two and then correct. It all kind of has to come together. Tuning is special. It is hard. And that's why a lot of people, when they're making these cars, will just give up and make an all-wheel drive car. This is way too loud. There we go, that's a little bit better. All-wheel drive solves so many issues, but not glaring issues. The update perspective, the steer assist. The update perspective... oh, sorry. Pre-activates the steer assist. You can see the assist with steering graph. Oh. There is plenty to do when tuning because changing one thing can change the suspension balance. Aero balance matters a lot too. Yes. Tune a car without aerodynamics, then add aerodynamics and make that work. Tune the car for like 80 kilometers an hour without aero. My car was actually tuned for nearly as long as I made the exterior. It just wasn't tuned for a wheel. Fair enough. I should have a lot more control over a car with a wheel, but I suppose you maybe drive differently. Which is entirely fine. Okay, the last car is a very luxurious sort of looking Jag sort of thing. What, did it come with a straight 6? Let's take that. I want to take that one to... where do I want to take that? You know what, I haven't driven around Italy with the steering wheel before, I don't think. Let's try that out. Where's Italy? Looking for a big field. Where the flip is Italy? Oh, there's Italy. Italy is like such a hard map for me to just see. Like, my blinders go on every single time. Crossroads. The camera view made it look like you were driving a Morgan Aero or similar. Yeah, a little bit. My Reddit post, good. Smart, yeah, I thought the same. Thought? What? Take it to Italy, that is actually in America. Yeah, this is Italy, Ohio. Because every map is from Italy. I might do a video one day, oh sorry, a stream one day, where I go like full into tuning. Like full into tuning. Alright, do we have... no, we do not have the right camera. Is this a manual? It is a manual. It's also very quiet. Nice wallowy suspension. Oh, it's a little prone to oversteer, which is not great. Oh, we're getting onto a freeway. I didn't mean to do that. This feels nice and smooth. Nice and calm and luxurious. I'm sure there are like 500 plus towns in the US called Italy. Yeah, probably. What is that recurring joke about all beamng maps being in Italy? Oh, sorry, in USA. It's because the majority of them are actually in America. Like, you look at them and go, oh, okay, that's in that country, that's in that country. No, they're all in America. Let me just quickly go through. I know that a lot of you have already seen me do this and get angry or whatever. I don't know. Let's have a look. Automation Test Track is not in America. Cliffs is undefined. Derby Arenas is meant to be in America. East Coast USA is America, Germany. Undefined. Undefined. America. America. Italy. America or South America or something like that. It's undefined. Small island America. America and America. But they're not an American company. But they have a hard-on for America. And that's really disappointing. Because there's other cool countries out there that actually really like cars. Unlike America, which likes the idea of cars. I've got a big power number, yeah! Sort of thing. Like, it's a bit weak sauce. I said weak sauce again. I hate that. It's best to post submissions not when the stream is going on, so Reddit won't filter out your results as best of... Yeah, give it a little bit at least, but that's up to you. East Coast, West Coast, UCAR... Yeah, no, most of them are from... The most is actually used correctly here. Overwhelming majority also works. Well, grid map is built in grids, like their cities, so it's a very... Sure, okay. I mean, it's got American-like tracks there. Like a hefty off-road, which is very popular in America for doing rock crawling. And also the oval circuit that it's got there, which I just forgot about. I could have been using that for oval circuit stuff, but yeah. Hirochi is also, like, devastating to me. I thought that was Japan. Turns out, I was wrong. Other cool countries that like cars? France? No. Like country, like cars. Everything about cars, culture, all that sort of stuff. Like, I would love to see an England map. Or, because I'm Australian, I may be a little bit biased, but an Australian map as well. But they just have so many American maps. It's like, what are you doing? That was the wrong button. I was trying to use my indicators to be funny, alright? Didn't work. What? Somehow this car understeers and oversteers at the same time. It's really weird. Like, understeers in corners. You know what? It might be a brake imbalance. It might have too much rear bias for a road car. Yep. Smidgen too much rear bias for what would be like a car that you probably don't want that in. So let's go to brakes and reduce rears by like 10%, maybe. All drive is easy to make a car drivable, but IMO, it's just as hard to make a perfect tune. Yeah, I agree. That's actually probably a really good way of putting it. As it takes away from axle grip, increases weight, and does not allow you to use the same tuning tricks as front row. Also, it's heavier and slower, and a heavier car is easier to control. In, at least, automation cars made. If there's an Australian map, there better be a fully functional kangaroo ragdoll to... Yeah, no, that's another thing that I haven't really done a whole lot of, is make destructible environments. New Zealand map with... mining pit. That would be cool. So you can go dirt drifting. Yeah, that would make sense, kind of. There are cities that are close to mining areas, but not often. So it's like Mazda Laguna Seca? Yeah. I personally would like to drive in Switzerland. Aren't they like anti-car a lot as the government there? Didn't they ban racing for a really long time? Or am I thinking Sweden, maybe? I really don't remember. One of those ones that starts with an S. But not Slovakia. Or Australia. Alright, that feels a lot more stable. And just the right amount of understeer now, which you would expect in a car like this. But if you're like going really at it over a corner, more than what you should in a road car. Oh, the open diff, bro. Whoop. A fuel station? Oh, I know this place. This is where you do that, like, downhill autobello race thing. This just feels nice to drive. Like, a car that's not too powerful. Feels balanced for a road car. I'm not having to worry, like, unreasonable braking distances and all that sort of stuff, because it's not like a hypercar where it's like a million miles an hour. This just feels really nice to drive. I'm actually having fun right now, which is why I'm not talking a whole lot. I'm just taking this in. My bad. Probably ruined my wheels and suspension just then a little bit. This is just... Sorry. I'm realizing that I'm not... I keep on realizing, wait, hold on. I'm not being entertaining. This is just fun to drive. This is just a nice car. Perfect for a steering wheel. Almost did that inside bit there. I was hoping to drift, but it just doesn't have the guts to do it. And the differential for it either. And just like having a good shifter with this, like a car where you're not like, oh, I have to like insta-shift, all that sort of stuff. This feels nice. It feels like I'm taking an actual car out through the hills, where you can really enjoy rear-wheel drive a lot more. In front-wheel drive, yes, you can be a lot more aggressive with a lighter car, all that sort of stuff. But there's like moments where you're like, holy shit, I'm gonna die! Where with like a rear-wheel drive that's well designed and all that sort of stuff, it just feels a little bit more lively. Like you feel like you can get there without having to actually push yourself to death and destruction. To feel good in the hills on a front-wheel drive, you have to push really hard. You don't in a rear-wheel drive. You may be faster in the front-wheel drive, or maybe pushing the right amount in the rear-wheel drive to push really hard. Yeah, sure. But like to get that same sort of like feeling of fun, you don't have to push so hard. That was fun. It was a one-wheel peel and only like an ever so slight angle of drift. Lag. Okay, that was weird. I'm just tearing it up around this village. Damn it. I wish I had a handbrake. Oh my god, lag. Agree with Luca? What did Luca say? Downhill to get fuel? Yeah. Wait, is that what they were talking about? Luca Motors, it doesn't really matter, it's pronounced the same. What's pronounced? I wish Poland was a map, not to be biased too, but a Polish small neighborhood under a huge mountain would be very nice. Yeah, a place with like really cool mountain roads would be great. We do have mountain roads in Australia, but I feel they're not great. It's either you're in a city and you have nice roads, kind of, or you're in like anywhere other than the mountains and the roads are just poorly kept. And they're not fun compared to what I've experienced most of the time. And they're also like designed for really high speed. And the problem with going like high speed is you have to know the corners before you get there very well. Otherwise, you're just gonna die. Like, there's not really much of a thing there, unless you have like a super safe car. So like, a nice windy bit of road where it's like really fun like this would be great. Like just what we went through there, that would feel like a lot of fun. There's just not a lot of that around where I live, at least. I've only ever driven like a couple of little bits of roads where it actually feels fun. God, what is this lag I'm getting sometimes? Come on, we're gonna take the scenic route. Damn it, I tried to drift it. That was fun. Automation test track has a mountain road? Yeah. And no grid layouts? For a real mountain map, maybe Peru, Bolivia, or Nepal? I don't know. I don't mean like... I'm not saying like a mountain road. There's a difference between a mountain road and a driving road in the mountains, is what I should clarify. And that's what we were talking about. It's just like a road that's really good to drive around on and have fun with. Where you're not like worried that you're gonna crash and die. Where it's not like really long straights where like you can build up a lot of speed, which gets like super sketch. If you want to do speed stuff, just go to a track. Like, a track is really fun to do speed stuff on. Still a little bit of off-roading now. Up in the mountains where, like, you can easily spin off and crash and die. This is fun. I like this. I have just come up with an idea for a build and race in the future. And nobody's going to like it. But that one will probably be long off on the distance. Well, time for a fill score, I reckon. What do we think? Fantastic car or brilliant car? Are you not in the Discord, Lucka? What are we talking about? Post tomorrow and you'll be fine. What are we talking? Oh yeah, you guys are talking about something. Let's give this a fill score. Styling. I mean, it's very basic. Let's go back to home. See, it looks nice. There's some questionable things. Like, I'm not a big fan of this offset, as I said. The rest of it, this I'm not a fan of. Taillights look a little bit weird, but I think it fits the family of the car. I think this is based on another sort of vehicle. I'm also not really sold on this, as that's not going to shine forwards. It's basically going to shine... like where you want it to go. It's going to go forwards and outwards that way. You're not really going to get in like the middle of the road where you kind of need a lot of light. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Your build challenge. Make the most relaxing and pleasant race car. Oh yeah, that'd be nice. Also, sorry about this. It's pronounced Luca. Did I say that wrong? Luca? Did I say Lucka? Eh. Sorry about that. So yeah, that one, I led the map. Which map are you talking about? Anyway, styling. Like a 6. It's okay. Acceleration, a 4. It's kind of slow. Handling, 7. It's rather nice. 7 on the fun factor. You can drift this a little bit, but could do with a better differential in it. Cool factor, like a 3. It's not a very cool car. You know what? 3 is saying it's uncool. Let's give it like a 4. Because a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that's not a cool car. Why aren't you driving like a sports car or something? Like, it's just some car. Only a few people would know like BMWs, people just know that they're rear-wheel drive and have a straight six, which makes them interesting and fun. So, yeah. Trackability, probably like a 6. Probably not very fast and a little bit heavy and a little bit wallowy. Features. What year is this car? That was the wrong button. 1984. And what price is it? Let's have a look-see. Where are we? £26,000. That doesn't help me. I don't know what they've done. So, we're just going to have a look and go by what we see. It's got a radio with no cassette or anything like that. So it's not the most decked out vehicle. We'll give it like a 2. It's probably got electric windows. I don't know, maybe. Comfort. It looks fairly comfortable. The seats are also quite nice. The seating, we're just going to give me a little bit of a pass there. It's going to come out of your je ne sais quoi score. But yeah, as I said, your floor is way too high and your seats are way too high. Like, oh my god, why? Why is there a gap between your floor and your floor that big? Like, if you need to, turn the chassis invisible, bro, and just make your own. I will forgive it. That is horrific. But for the comfort, we'll just give it like a 6. It's probably pretty decent. You know what, a 7. It's fairly quiet. Quality. It didn't look like it was a very expensive car, but being, I'm assuming, British, being in pounds, the build quality will be bad, but it'll feel nice. So I'll go like a 6 on that. Oh, you know what? It's 80s Britain. So I'll go like a 4 on that. Probably not the greatest in the 80s. There's a Polish map? I didn't know that. You're dabbing? Okay. I have been mentioned in chat like 50 times now. Apparently you're very popular, Luca. Practicality. It's not a giant car, so it's not going to be... You know, it is not a small car either. So we can't really give any points for practicality for parking, but it looks like it has... Even though it's done really poorly, it has 5 seats. An okay boot. Fairly sizable. Not really meant for off-road, 2-wheel drive, all that sort of stuff. So, like, mid-range. 5 on practicality. You know, maybe a 6. It's got good boot space. Value, they're probably fairly cheap, and you get a lot of fun out of it. It's the ongoing costs which are probably going to hurt because it's being British and all that sort of stuff. In that sort of, like, British Leyland sort of time, where, like, quality was not really on anybody's mind, really. If they were, they would have done a much better job. Like a 5? They're not going up or down in price, really, I suppose. Those sorts of vehicles. Ongoing costs. Like a 4? No, we'll give it a 5. It's middle of the road. Fuel usage is not going to be great on such an older car. What was it again? Individual throttle bodies. Electronic fuel injection in 1984. Oh, that's going to be bad. But that will give it a little bit better fuel efficiency, but still not great. It is still the 80s. Yeah, I feel that's fine. J-beam editing. I don't believe there was any. Would I buy it? Like a 7. There'd be a high chance if I was looking for a car. That one would be on the list if it was in manual. Making a chassis invisible and building the interiors. Yeah, that's what I do almost all the time, as I just turn the chassis invisible and then put the floor in myself. Share the same motorsport interests? What? There's no such thing as Formula 5. The je ne sais quoi factor. I'm going to give you a big, fat 5 on that one. It just... You know, a 6 on that one. It's really nice to drive. In realism, it's quite realistic apart from the fact that you stuffed up the interior. So we're going to go on 9 on that one. It came from a lack of practice or skill or... like experimentation with the interior that made you fail there. But I'm assuming you didn't intend it to actually be that way. So, I'm not going to mark you down too much, but I will take a whole point off for that one. But it just feels like a fairly realistic car. Actually, you know what? That back end is very unrealistic as well. So we'll go an 8 on that one. A score of 84 is actually a decent score. As I always say, 80 is like a good car. You like all motorsports? I like most motorsports. I'm not a big fan of F1. I'm a fan of older F1. Modern F1 feels a little, I don't know, just boring. Formula 5 is real. Formula 6 next week? Sure. Anyway, that's the end of all of the cars we got today. Let's just sit back and chat a little bit, I suppose. Easy mode? What's easy mode? Is that a type of race? I don't know. You know what? Whilst you guys are coming up with things to say, I'm just going to have fun driving this car. God damn it. I hate the fact that this thing doesn't have an interior camera. I'm going to try to see if I can make my way up there. I think there's a village somewhere that we go through. New F1 kind of lame, needs more rule breaking. I don't know about that. I thought good nighttime? What? Semi-automatic gearboxes? What about them? I think, I don't know. I feel just Motorsport is too refined nowadays. I'm gonna have a lot of fun watching, LMH. And I think if the FIA gets out of its own way and gets rid of balance of power, or at least does a good job with balance of power as opposed to the garbage they have been doing, I think it'll actually be really fun. Seeing different car companies come up with different ways of doing things and how well it works out for them is a major interesting thing about Formula Sports. About regulated sports like that. It's just interesting. That way I can be like, oh, I like what they've done there. They've done this really cool thing. I'm going to root for them. I like them and all that sort of stuff. They did well that one race. I'm going to root for them. You're taking away almost everything that makes me want to root for any sort of team, apart from, basically, its livery. Like, you know how many people didn't give two shits about Peugeot until Peugeot did that no-wing design? That was a really good idea. That brought a lot of interest into the sport. They should be encouraging that sort of stuff. And then if it doesn't work, well, fine, just let it not work. Let there be the 787Bs, allow rotaries back in, all of that sort of stuff. Like, just... I mean, I'm pretty sure that actually rotaries are allowed in LMH. I just don't think anybody's going to do it because they're not actually that great. If you could just make a good engine, that's much better than anything a rotary is going to be for a race car, I think. Especially considering that they have actually, they've put a minimum weight limit on what you can have for an engine, which wasn't really designed to be against rotaries. Instead, it was actually meant to be against, like, using extremely exotic materials that cost way too much for a reasonable team to be able to afford. And I think that's what's going to make LMH my series to watch. And Le Mans and everything. Need a Chappelle 2J again? Sure. Something like that. I don't know. Did that ever go to Le Mans? I don't think it did. I think that just stayed in America, didn't it? Current BTCC is amazing. I expect hybrid to ruin racing, but they absolutely nailed it. Why would hybrid ruin racing? If they have, like, the overtake button, I think that's kind of cool. Give them, like, a limited charge on that or something. Rotors were banned as a single engine. The 787B engine was banned. No, actually, a lot of racing things did specify how an engine needs to work. And they talked about reciprocating pistons in a lot of cases. There are a lot of other things as well. And then I think only recently a lot of racing things unbanned it. But yeah, there was actually, like, very... Not exactly saying, hey, rotaries are banned. But they, like, wanted people to not have to worry about, like, what the next big engine type is. So then we have to spend a lot of money on, like, developing a new engine. And they wanted to also stop jet turbine engines, all that sort of stuff, all in one go. So they defined what an engine is and what an engine must have. HP limit for engines in LMH is around 700 horsepower, but the hybrid system can get them to around... No. Wait. Yes, actually, you're right. That math does work out. So, yeah. My bad. Imagine a new type of engines like steam, hydro, air. I wouldn't be surprised if a team would try to do something like scramjet, maybe. I don't think scramjet would work on a road car, but, like, if it's not out of the rules, then they would definitely try something like a scramjet on the, straightaway. On, Morsand Straight and whatnot. Okay, hear me out. Electric rotary engines. You mean hybrid rotary engines. It's interesting. Then, if the 787B engine was banned, and rotary engines not banned, then make the 787B engine and put some spoiler boys on it. What? Are you enjoying driving my luxuries? Hey, Kira, is this your car? Oh, really nice. Wasn't a great fill score, but that's because it's not like a car that ticks all boxes. It's just a car meant for being a fun car, I suppose. And I have enjoyed it a lot. Bring back triple extension Steam? Triple expansion Steam? What? Oh, Phil, if you had a scramjet in GTA Online, you should turn in a lost vehicle support ticket because they accidentally removed it. No, I didn't have one of those. Usually hybrid regulations are trash and force racing around gimmicks. BTC used around a boost available instead of... what I like is interesting limitations put on vehicles. Not, hey, your engine has to be this size, but something like, you're limited to this much fuel in a race. Or you have to survive on one set of tires, potentially, maybe not for F1, but like a lot of other ones that'll allow them to run their road engines and not be forced into having to go like, oh, well, we'll just get a race engine for this because the race engines are not good for road cars, but our road engines are not good for race cars. Like, that sort of, you know, no, let's not do dirt again. The problem with those is that alternative engine fuels produce little to no power, and meth is considered overkill. Yeah, there's problems with running, like, really exotic fuels. You turned in a ticket anyway. Nah, I don't really play it that much to care too much. Also, did you know today Phil convinced me to quit heroin? When do we get VR death races with hybrids? I don't know. I don't think I ever mentioned that. Yeah, this is my car based on the sort of English-German style. Really remember made it on a sleepy... I'm guessing lots of Jag influence. Because, like, it's using a Jag body to start with. I gave you a very appropriate quality score as well. I feel. Like, 80s England? Ugh. Whoop. So I hit something. It's been so long? What's been so long? Yeah, as I was saying about, interesting regulations, as opposed to just limiting everything. I think through interesting regulations is a much better way of doing it than saying like, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that. Not necessarily. I think also basing cars off of road cars, race cars off of road cars and using road type things is probably also a much better way of doing it. So then that way, they're not like, oh, well, we can't use our road engine in this LMP car or LMH car or whatever because it's just not really fitting any regulations for the road use and vice versa. Like, it doesn't really fit very good for race use because you make these engines very differently. But if they said, like, you have to have sold X amount of engines, I think that's a much better way of doing it. You do unfortunately end up with a little bit of like a Porsche 917 sort of thing, but I don't care. I think the Porsche 917 being a road car was really freaking cool. And as long as if you can get dangerous cars on the road anymore. Like, there's a lot of regulations, and they've gotten really good at designing cars now. By the way, I have no idea if somebody mentioned it on today's stream, but if not, then make sure to leave a like. Oh, yes! Thank you, Space Warrior. If you're actually about to fall asleep, it's pretty harmful to not Loka. I mean, it can be, yeah. It really depends. There's lots of different, like, it's not quite so straightforward to sleep. Sleep is a tricky mistress. If you're, like, sleep depriving yourself, that can be quite harmful. Usually for mental health, and then for long-term, cardiovascular, no. Like, it can cause you to have strokes and whatnot. So, yeah, be careful about that. We've got a road around here. What's this? GLTC has great set of regulations? I don't know what that is. German licking the concrete regulations? You get power to weight ratio with multiplier based on things like engine size, gearbox, drivetrain layout. Oh, okay then. Reset this car quickly. Is that the right button? That was the wrong button. There we go. I wake up early for these streams. I kind of wanted to make a sports version of this car after I made the original, but I prefer... Whoopsie daisies. Just nice, tame nature of it. Yeah, it just feels nice. It's a good, well-rounded car. Don't worry, it's... Okay then. Good for you. I have insomnia, and it even affects food digestion and muscle pain. That's if you're sleep deprived. But just like having less sleep is not... Oh, sorry, just staying awake when you want to go to sleep is different. Insomnia is really a very different kettle of fish from the very beginning. Anyway, I think we're winding down now. A lot of people are leaving, and we're nice and chill. For me, it's nearly 3:30 a.m. I've known people that have insomnia as well, and it really does affect them in many different ways. You can tell when it's affecting them really badly because their personality changes horrifically. It does have its ups and downs usually, but usually it's just always just levels of bad. Grid Life Touring Cup? Never heard of it. It's an amateur... You know, I heard of one recently that was happening in my local area. It's with Hyundai Excels, and I'm so tempted to try to enter that. But I don't have a racing license, and I'd have to, like, get that. And that's very expensive here in Australia. Like, to get a racing license, you have to be a part of a club, which is hundreds of dollars. Then you have to be, you have to get your insurance, all that sort of stuff, which is hundreds more of dollars. Then get your license, which is hundreds of dollars. Like, just to get to the point where you say, I'm allowed to, you've probably spent 500 to 1,000. Depending. It's getting hot in my tiny room. Ooh, oh dear, oopsie daisies. I'm sorry what I've done to your beautiful car. I say beautiful, but you know what I mean. Your beautiful to drive car. My neighbor came back with their Ferrari 305 GTO. Oh, nice. You know what? Let's go down this way. Downhill. Nothing ever goes wrong on the downhill. Nothing at all. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't touch anything. Damn it. Whoa, drift yellow. Damn it. What I need is a handbrake to be able to, like, continue that drift and just, like, lightly going on the handbrake. This is fun. I like this. It's just a nice car to drive. Like, we've had some really bonkers cars today. Oopsie daisies. That was my bad. That was the wrong button to press. Would have loved if you had to put like an interior camera though. It's so simple and so easy to do. Submitting it on a week when I was doing cockpit driving would have been nice. Also, yes, I am going to do another cockpit stream next week as well, seeming that people really liked it. I would love really well-tuned race cars next week. Focus on handling. At all else, go back between BeamNG and automation like 10 times at least. Get me like a really good handling car and submit it for next week, and I will love your car most likely. Fastello? This is the first stream I've seen of yours? Ah, welcome MP. You've reached, you've joined us at the end, basically. I'm just having a bit of fun before I end the stream. I think my car did so poorly because usually I just make a normal, frugal, pleasant little... Yeah, that can happen. But it's also because, you're thinking of things in terms of the fill score, which I didn't like from the very beginning, but people really wanted a proper breakdown of things. I'm like, okay. But, if you want a simplified fill score that just, like, goes about how much I like your car, then you will get a different score. But, yeah, if you're also not used to building, like, high-speed cars, then, yeah, that can also hurt your score considerably, even on a simplified fill score. One off-road car is... Whatever, bro. You submit it and people vote for it. Might make this car you're in into a race car. Sure. I mean, it might be made into a touring car. Knock off maybe like 300 kilos or something like that. I'm okay with simplified, but I also really like the option for more. If you could make an interior camera, really super simple. It's like one of the easiest mods to get into. Keep pressing the wrong button. This thing is just like a second gear cruiser, to be honest. Like, sorry, not cruiser, but like a second gear runaround. It's fun. The legend Dino Man Vipper, welcome to the stream. I've recently built a good sporty track car. Okay, cool. Feel free to submit it. Links are in the description. It is fine if you add one off-road car for some variation. Only one car per submission, please. And try not to submit like a bazillion cars in 1 week. You really need to learn tuning. Practice. Just really, really practice. I didn't learn tuning, like suspension tuning that is, until I got into my Group C car that I did the big collab with, like Consider, Twin Turbos, Shiny Odd, Tries, all those people. Could you quickly run me through how to do an interior cam? Watch my video on the complexities of making an F1 car. I don't know the exact name. You could probably just go to my YouTube channel and type in complexities. And there's a lot of different little bits in there. And I'm pretty sure one of those is how to do the camera. Really super simple stuff. And instead of me just running you through it, it'll show you all the steps as well. You don't have a preference on vehicle age, right? No, I think if you are good at making a car of that age, then go for it. Just keep in mind, a modern car will get a lot more scrutiny because, like, we're in modern right now, so I know how to properly read cars and how they score, if score is what you're going for. Also, they're really hard to design in automation because automation is not really designed... it's not really a game for modern vehicle design. It's really perfect for, like, late 60s to early 2000s. And then, like, it starts to fall to bits. I've got a 1965 war truck for extreme off-roading for a suggestion. Sure, that'd be a bit of waste of, like, a cockpit stream, but you can try to submit it if you want. Oh, there's a curb on the inside. Yikes. And I ground the gears. I am what grinds Peter Griffin's gears. Whoop. Whoops, well, it's an old car. Not that important. I think I've really stuffed up the steering, so let's refresh quickly. You've tried 7 times to do what? You mean tried to submit your car? If it's not getting votes, it's probably because it doesn't look very good. Looking good is probably one of the best things you can do. Make sure that there is pictures attached. If that's what you're talking about. To enter the Reddit post about it? Ah. Yeah, if you're not getting votes, which I doubt because there's been weeks where I haven't even gotten 10 submissions. Yeah. Make sure you got pictures. Pictures are very important for people to know what they're voting for. Oh, it doesn't show? Oh. I don't know how you don't make Reddit work. That's weird. Yay, we made it to the bottom of the hill. This whole time, secretly, oh, I mean, maybe half the time, I've been looking for a way down. And just kind of like blasé, just going, yeah, we'll try this way. I want to make a car spend a lot of time to make the engine just right, tune the suspension, brakes, etc., and then I die on the fixtures and give up. Yeah, that's why I want to do a few build streams where I go through like a lot of technical sort of stuff. Well, got to learn how to stiffen the suspension even more first. I feel that a lot of the times automation suspension is stiff enough. You just have to set it to stiffer, I suppose? I don't know. What is it that you're like struggling with? Is it like suspension bottoming out from aero? Or do you forget to change sway bars maybe? Or something like that? If it needs to be stiffer, there is pretty simple ways of doing it. It's just getting it right is the problem. Oh, that was close. Now we should be on the freeway. Nice. Let's see how its top speed handling is. Feel like probably should be getting more power from a straight 6. Is this also a 5-speed? Also very high rev range for a 80s car. With an engine that is probably actually much older than the 80s. Do you have 6-speed? Did you make that mistake? No, you didn't. Good. Okay. $180 now? That actually feels quite realistic for this sort of car. Well done. Most people get that completely wrong. I'm going downhill and I'm going into 190s now. I'd be surprised if this car went over 200 now, to be honest. In, like, on a flat ground. Yeah, even with a little bit of downhill, it was struggling to reach 200. There we go. Now we're proper downhill, and it's only just going over. Suspension... Oh, there we go. Yeah, it is feeling a little bit light right now. Oopsie daisies. Ah! That was my bad. Welcome, I play everything back to the stream. Yeah, that was fun. I like this car a lot. Bounces a lot, less spring, more damp. And this is exactly how I have 20 unfinished car projects and 0 complete ones. If If I make a really light car, it handles bad, but if I make a heavier car, it handles good. I'm not sure why. Are you using preset suspension tunes? That could be why. My little sports car's top speed is about 182 kilometers an hour via JBM editing. Nice. Anyway, I feel that is a good place to end the stream. Favorite Carl BMNG, no mods, no automation? What are you talking about? What's a Carlin? Oh, car in BMNG. The Autobello. The Autobello Piccolina. I made a sort of Reddit post in the Discord automation stuff channel. Sure. Anyway. Whilst I'm readying, I'm going to, change a thing. Oh, you know what? Outro names. I have to add an extra thing here. So these are our channel members. What I'm going to do is duplicate this. How do I duplicate? Copy? Paste duplicate. There we go. And then this one. We're going to put in here. Is it Ruben? I'm dyslexic. How do I spell Ruben? They're probably streaming right now as well. Wait, what? They... Oh, it doesn't show their channel when they're in streamer mode? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, sure, we'll just go with that. There. Ruben is giving me a lot of money to be a channel member. So, thank you very much, Ruben. Talk to you on Discord on next weekend? Yeah. Okay, everybody. Goodbye.